Hello, everyone, and welcome to DeForest High School in DMB Stadium, site of this week's WIAA Division 6 Level 4 playoff game between Edgar and Darlington. A pair of perennial powers will square off, and we'll get to that in a second. Rob Hernandez alongside Jason Galloway for our Level 4 prep rally. Jason, one step away from Camp Randall Stadium. These teams that are left in the 7 divisions of the postseason, I think, can taste the idea of a state championship or at least a berth in the state finals. And let's start first in Division 1. We haven't had an area team now for a couple weeks, but the pairings playing out just as everybody seeded it. 4 number ones left, and ironically, they're all going to meet in the same place. Titan Stadium in Oshkosh, a doubleheader in Division 1. A stroke of brilliance on the WIA's part. I'm not sure it was designed, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was either. It's probably something that we haven't seen before in the state, and I think it's going to create a lot of interest. And I think when you can get the four best Division 1 teams and play them all back to back, I think that's something special. And to see all the number 1 seeds go through, I think is good. For a situation like this, and it's going to be some real big-time football. Well,
so after 2 or 3 weeks of me lambasting the WIA for putting Arrowhead to the north and Kimberly to the south, it works out great. It'll be Kimberly taking on Milwaukee Marquette at 5 o'clock at Titan Stadium in Oshkosh on Friday night, to be followed by Bayport and Heartland Arrowhead at 8 p.m., a doubleheader in Division 1. So football fans, belly up to the bar. You've got your feast. The smorgasbord of great football will be Friday up in Oshkosh. So if there is a silver lining to there being no area teams and to things playing out the way that we expected them to, it's the fact that the WIA has a chance to see what a semifinal showcase event can do as far as attendance and interest in high school football and the playoffs in 2014. We do have a Division 2 team from the area in competition on Friday night over at Kettle Moraine. The Wanakee Warriors taking on Waukesha West at 7 o'clock. Unlike Division 1 where it was all chalk, a pair of number 2s meeting with a chance to go on to the state finals in Division 2.
Yeah, and I like what Wanakee's doing this postseason. Troy Laufenberg, who had to move to quarterback, has 439 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns in their 3 playoff games so far. Waukesha West's run defense has been decent, but it's not anything spectacular. I think Wanakee's going to be able to move the ball in this matchup. And but Waukesha West offense, they don't really have the one star out there, but they've been able to keep getting it done in the postseason. Their last 2 postseason games, they entered the fourth quarter trailing, and we're able to come back, and we'll see if Wanakee can kind of break that streak.
The neat thing I saw this week, Troy Laufenberg starting to get some interest possibly for a walk-on opportunity at the University of Wisconsin, so we'll keep our eyes peeled to that, but he certainly has had a monster season for the Wanakee Warriors, a big reason why they are one step away from another trip to the state finals after making 3 in a row just a couple years ago. Menasha, Mequon, Homestead, the other side of that bracket, the winners to meet on Friday, a week from Friday at Camp Randall Stadium. In Division 3, Jason, the Reedsburg Beavers, after their big upset win over Wisconsin Lutheran, they will over Mount Horeb-Barneveld, will play Wisconsin Lutheran. That game 1 o'clock on Saturday now at Middleton. Reedsburg, the Cinderella of this postseason.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great run for them. They're the only team left seated lower than 3rd to still be alive in any division. I think it's a real testament to the quality of the Badger North this year. They had a bunch of teams advance, and now they have a 6th seed in the Final Four. But this will probably be their toughest test yet with Wisconsin Lutheran, who's been ranked number 1 in the medium schools for pretty much the entire season. But Wisconsin Lutheran, I think the key here is if Reedsburg is able to kind of slow down that Wisconsin Lutheran rushing attack. They're averaging almost 300 yards rushing per game, and it hasn't been really the strength of Reedsburg's team to stop the run this year. So if Reedsburg does pull another upset, it's going to be because that front 7 played out of their minds.
Well, and as we said before in our prep rallies, Brian Pottinger, a master of preparation this time of year. It's the reason why Reedsburg has most of its recent playoff history as far as getting to Camp Randall packed in the last few years. And, of course, Wisconsin Lutheran, their postseason record speaks for itself as well. The winners to play the winner of the game between Rice Lake and West Appear. Rice Lake knocking off an unbeaten in Lacrosse Logan in convincing fashion last week in Level 3. Moving to Division 4, the area teams Lodi and the Blue Devils take the trip to West Bend to take on Little Chute in a 7 p.m. game Friday. The Blue Devils have looked very, very good, and last week needed a little stroke of luck and some perseverance to pull out a win over Marshall.
Yeah, they their defense gave up 19 points, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's the most Lodi's given up the entire season. They had held 5 straight opponents to 7 or less, so they were tested by Marshall. and it's going to be another test this week against Little Chute. Just to kind of show how balanced that Little Chute's offense is. They have a quarterback that's thrown for 22 touchdowns and a running back who's run for 21. Lodi's defense, which I think is one of the best in the state, is really going to have to step up and play its best game here. But another interesting stat for you: Little Chute has outscored opponents by 145 points in the first half this year, which is way more than their differential in the second half.
Right.
They're fast starters, and I think that Lodi defense is going to be important for them to come out and not let Little Chute get in the rhythm early.
Well, and Little Chute, an overtime winner last week over another Cinderella in the postseason, Spencer Marshfield Columbus. So we'll see what kind of challenge Little Chute holds for Lodi. Again, Friday night, 7 o'clock down in West Bend. The winner is to play the winner of the semifinal between Somerset and Wrightstown in the only evening game of the state finals. That on Thursday night, a week from Thursday, at Camp Randall Stadium. Division 5, Lancaster gets the revenge victory over Arcadia in Level 3, and the Flying Arrows will be at Middleton on Friday night at 7 o'clock against Racine St. Catharines. St. Cat's knocked out Cambridge last week. How do you see Lancaster now that they got that win back over Arcadia, the only team to beat them so far this season?
Well, that was a huge win for them, and they got to have a lot of confidence going in, knowing they knocked off the one team that beat them earlier in the year. But now they go against a Racine St. Catharines team that has not allowed a point the entire postseason, while Lancaster's been averaging averaging 55 points a game over their 3 postseason games. So something's got to give. Is Lancaster going to continue to be able to score at this rate? And if they do, can Racine, win a different type of game than they've been winning, and can they keep up? So I think this is kind of one of the more intriguing games of the weekend.
Well, and I tell you what, a contrast in style, to say the least. 84 points Lancaster scored in that Level 1 win over Osseo Fairchild, and as you said, St. Cat's yet to put allow a point on the board in the postseason, so it'll be truly a great matchup, 7 o'clock Friday over at Breitenbach Stadium in Middleton. The winner is to play the winner of the Stanley Boyd Amherst semifinal, and they will play mid-afternoon a week from Thursday at Camp Randall. Division 6, right here at DeForest High School, first playoff game in over 30 years. I was told the last time that DeForest High School hosted a state semifinal game, the Norskies played Platteville, quarterbacked by Paul Christ, and won that one way back in the 80s, the early 80s. I believe 1983 would have been the year. And so they host a postseason game here in this wonderful newly renovated complex at DMB Stadium. And it'll be Darlington and Edgar. Now, Jason, Darlington with 25 playoff appearances, Edgar with 27. Their postseason records, 50 going into the postseason this year, 58-21 for Darlington. Obviously now that's 61-21. And Edgar, if they can win here on Friday night, they'll move to 70-21. 4 state titles for Darlington, 4 state runner-up finishes, 6 state titles for Edgar under Jerry Sins, the second winningest coach in state history, and 4 runner-up finishes. Truly an epic matchup here at DeForest High School.
That's an incredible playoff history by those two teams. And this is the only 1 seed versus 1 seed in terms of area teams we have playing this weekend, and both have taken care of business. I think the closest game either has had has been 29 points in the playoffs so far, and Darlington's actually won every game by 27 or more since they lost in week 1 of the season. But you look at, I think the key here is just how much Edgar can slow down Darlington's running attack. Darlington's not only a run first team, they're kind of an only run team, and they're averaging more than 300 yards rushing per game, and they've scored 63 rushing touchdowns on the year. And Edgar, that's one of their strong suits. They've held teams to about 63 rushing yards a game, only given up 6 rushing touchdowns the entire season. So I think that's going to be the key. I'm sure Darlington, it's not like they're going to shut them down. Edgar's not going to be able to shut them down completely, but if they're able to contain Darlington and kind of keep them at bay and not let them just roll down the field every possession like they're used to, then I think that's kind of the key for them.
I would agree. Darlington, I don't believe, has attempted more than 10 passes in the postseason. They have completed about 6 of those behind Cole McDonald. They can throw the ball, but they've been a run-first team, and nobody's been able to stop that. So why put the ball in the air? We'll see if that holds true again Friday night. I think the one matchup that will be interesting for Darlington is that they've physically dominated the line of scrimmage the last 3 weeks in the postseason, but Edgar, traditionally one of those smash-mouth football teams that tends to not back down from that kind of challenge. So again, much like that Lancaster St. Cat's game, it's got to be something's got to give here Friday night at DMB Stadium. Again, we mentioned it before, just nothing but heavyweights left in Division 6. Not only the 2 perennial powers meeting here at DeForest, but Athens, which is unbeaten and enjoying a breakthrough season up in north central Wisconsin, will be taking on Fond du Lac St. Mary's Springs under the winningest coach in state history, Bob Hyland. And the winners of those two games will meet on a week from Thursday at Camp Randall Stadium at 1 o'clock in the Division 6 state championship game. That leaves us with one division to go, and all two seeds, number 2 seeds in Division 7, among the one area team still left standing, Potosi. The Chieftains will make the trip to Viroqua on Friday night to take on Pep and Alma. Jason, the Potosi Chieftains knocked out last year's defending state champion Blackhawk in Level 3, and it looks like if there is going to be a Six Rivers team in the state finals, Potosi is well equipped to be the one.
Definitely, their offense has been rolling since they had an early season loss, and in the 9 games since, they've averaged 38 points a game. Quarterback Kyle Kaiser is lighting it up this year. 24 touchdowns to only 5 picks, and they're also averaging 277 yards on the ground. So this is a very balanced attack. And Pep and Alma, though, their offense can score too. They've scored I think 40 or more points in 7 straight games. So this one could turn into a shootout. It's going to come down to whether Potosi can actually get a stop or not.
And Pep and Alma knocked out an unbeaten last week in Bangor, the Scenic Bluffs Conference champ. So Pep and Alma's resume not too shabby. The thing I like about Potosi, Jason, is the fact that Mark Siegert, in his tenure there as the Chieftains coach, has really not only advocated success on the football field, but success athletically all the way around. These kids are well-conditioned athletes, and in Division 7, sometimes that gets the reputation that the farm kids versus the city kids. I tell you what, these guys are built for speed and built for physical play, and I would not be surprised to see Potosi being one of the teams that opens up the state championship a week from Thursday at Camp Randall Stadium in that 10 a.m. D7 state title game. The winner of this Potosi Pep and Alma game will take on the winner of Owen Withee against Almond Bancroft. Almond Bancroft last week ousted another area team, Cambria Friesland. So those are the matchups in Division 7. Jason will be back again on Friday. We haven't set the start time yet for the live chat. We're going to have to do it a little bit earlier. NCAA cross country going on this week out at University Ridge. So it may be an earlier start time for that chat, I believe in that 10 to 10:30 neighborhood, so we can get that in an hour and then head out to the cross country for coverage there. And of course, we'll have live blog coverage of scores, updates, and observations throughout the area around the state, both Friday night and Saturday, as games spread out this week over both days, as the WIAA trying to get some neutral site venues in play, including the one here at DeForest, and they've got games going both Friday night and then throughout the day on Saturday, so we'll have updates there. Jason and I will be at Camp Randall for updates from the Badgers-Nebraska game, so a full plate, and then Jason will be at this WIAA State swim meet on Friday night for Division 2. We'll also have coverage of the Division 1 state meet in live blog form on Saturday, so a lot to check back to madison.com for here and wisconsinprepzone.com as we move further into the week. For Jason Galloway, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching the Level 4 Prep Rally. We'll see you at the stadium.